Hello, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. And this is Melina from Edmonton, Canada. And welcome to my page. And today we have a very special guest from London. And she is Dr. Susie Jacob. And she's a medical general practitioner from UK and also very successful online business owner. And today she is here to share her journey and give us a lot of information about this business. So, welcome, Dr. Susie. Welcome to my page.
Hi, Melina. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for the invite and thank you
Yeah.
for your kind words. Yes, very
Thank
humbling, but
you.
yes, thank you so much for your kind
Yeah, and
words.
thank you for your time. I know you are a very busy person. You handle a very great profession as well as this online business. So you are a very busy person, and you found some time for me. And thank you so much. So you know what? Just introduce yourself and just give us a short intro about how you came into this business.
Yeah. So, as Melina said, I am Dr. Susie Jacob. I am a general practitioner here in the UK. I do both clinical management. So, I have two roles, mainly as a management role, as well as I'm a hands-on clinician, and I work near to full time. Till last month, I was working full time. Now I have managed to cut down a few hours. Yes,
Yes, great.
thanks to the business. So I've
Yeah,
managed to cut down a few of my hours, but I'm still near to full time. But
yeah,
anyway, any hours cut down in the medical profession is great.
great.
um,
That's
so my story behind coming to the online business is actually it all started from COVID. During COVID, my husband, the time just before lockdown, he was changing jobs, and he just resigned from his previous job, and he was just the the week when lockdown was announced was the week when he had to join his new job.
oh.
But of course, we went into lockdown, and he is a chef by profession. So, of course, everything got shut down.
Yeah, yeah.
And that meant, like, he was without a job because in the UK, if you were in employment and you couldn't work because of the pandemic, we had what we call the furlough scheme, where you got 80% of your actual salary was funded by the government,
Yeah.
which unfortunately we weren't entitled because, of course, he resigned from his job.
Job, yeah.
And so we were in a big pickle at that time. I was the
Wow.
only sole
The
breadwinner at
breadwinner.
that time, and I increased my hours slightly, did a few extra work also, just to make sure that we had enough to pay the mortgage and enough to live a comfortable life.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and then, but as you know about the pandemic,
Yeah.
it was a scary time because I saw colleagues becoming unwell. A lot of people in the medical professions died actually because of COVID. Around
Mm.
600 doctors died, and obviously,
Oh,
plus other medical professionals.
yeah.
And then, you have that scare because you didn't know about the virus. And then,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
you are afraid to bring it home to your family.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really, really kind of desperate at that time to look into some kind of stream of income where I didn't have to actually trade my time for money, because I was getting a bit burned out. As you can imagine, during the
Yeah.
pandemic itself was a bit stressful. Seeing people die was a bit stressful, and plus having to work more hours. So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for something where I could earn without having to trade my time. And that's when I started doing my research, really.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to this business, I went into other businesses. I did a bit of crypto, I did a bit of property,
Okay.
and I did find success in those businesses also, but not as much as this current business. So this actually, I have to say, exceeds all of those businesses, and I'm really happy that I took that leap of faith.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So, where did you find this business? Like, did you find it in the through the social media?
Um, to be very fair, like, I just saw my, when I saw my mentors post coming through social media. But, because I was already entrepreneurial, I was doing
Oh,
crypto as well as property. I think that's why it came into my post. I don't know why it did come. So I did see her. And, when I do see people, other people in other businesses also. I do, even now I do actually listen to what people have to say, because you
Yes,
can
yes.
learn from people.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
absolutely.
always have an open mind. So I listened to
Mm-hmm.
her, and I basically just liked her post, and then I befriended her. And then, of course, I saw her success, and she had immense success. So I was like, oh, so that, and I was already having a bit of success in property and in crypto. And I was like, but this is way more than what I was at the moment, at that time, having. And I was like, okay, the more the merrier, because it's another stream of income at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
So then, like, after a couple of months of following her, I just approached her, and I wanted to know more about the business, and I joined, really.
yeah. Great. So now you being saying that you have gone into different businesses, and then you found this. What do you feel the difference? Like, what is the highlights of our business? Can you just share it to the audience?
Of course.
Yeah,
So, having done other businesses, I would say, like, especially property, it's very, very good. If you know how to play the game, property is very good. I still have my hands on property. I like it. But what I was facing with, because I do at that point of, so I was like working full time. The problem is, you have to go view the property,
yeah,
and I work full time. And then here, the estate agents, or the realtors, as you call in the US and
yeah.
North America, they work between maybe 9 or 5 and 9 and 6. But I, as a general practitioner, work during those hours. So the problem with me was at that time, if I wanted and if I was keen on a property, I had to take annual leave just to go view
Oh,
the property,
yeah,
and not
property.
even then decide on whether I want to take the deal or not.
Yeah,
So so because with other, like, so with if you have a shop, or if you do something like property or something, unless you have someone else to go do these things, if you do it yourself,
yeah,
there is, like, there's a certain time frame you have to, when, like, the opening hours of a business. While
yeah.
this business, I haven't taken a single day annual leave for the business.
Yes.
This business works around my busy schedule, it works
Yeah,
around my family life, it works around my work. Basically, I've never taken a day off just because for I had to sort something out of the business. I'm able to, because of the flexibility, is what
yes,
I like.
absolutely.
So that's what I'm trying. When people ask, oh, so this is not the only business? Of course, there are other businesses,
Yeah,
and you have to follow what you like. Some people just love property, and I know
yeah,
some people just love
mm,
the idea going and seeing people and having. But if you're busy like me, you might like it, but imagine taking annual leave to go do these things.
yeah,
How
yeah,
much feasible is it really at the end of the
yeah,
day?
yeah,
It's not really. While this business, it works around, I before going into work, I do a bit of, I look at, any queries, any business related things that I need to do. Then during my lunch break, I might answer a bit of queries. Sometimes I do videos during my lunch. In that 10 minutes, I do a
yeah,
quick video. So those are all business related things. And then I come back, also have a bit of a rest and do the business. So it works around, and even shift work, because it is 24/7 business. You
yeah,
can be on night shifts, and you can come back from work and then do the business and go to bed again and wake up from your sleep and again. So it's so flexible.
flexible.
I think that is the plus point for this business, for busy professionals like myself, or any kind of medical or nursing, or any profession
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
medical field. This is a very, very apt,
yeah,
great thing to be in. Another thing is, when I was doing property, there were lots of things which I had to do myself. For instance, like, if I had to do, I had to buy a program to do my client relationship management, CRMs and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
While in this business, everything is done, and you just pay, like, what you pay hardly anything, peanuts.
Anything. Yeah,
You pay peanuts to actually, and it's just one-off payment to get into the program to see how it is, and that's all included. While and the funnel, the website, and everything
yeah,
is included. Now, if you want to have a decent website nowadays, it's between anything between 350 and 500 pounds, isn't it?
yeah,
our whole thing doesn't even cost that much, like
Yeah, yeah,
getting into the system. And we don't have, because I was in a crypto group and I had to pay membership fee every 3-4 months. There's no membership fee in our thing, so once you're in, you're in. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
there were other groups I were in, and that is again, the mentoring is for probably 3 months or 6 months, or there's a limited time where you are mentored, while this is a lifelong
Time, mentorship.
mentorship and training. It's one to one. You train and coach your mentees and things like that as one to one,
Yeah,
which is, and it's again lifelong, which is unheard of. And then we are trained into doing social media marketing. You don't have to do, because before coming into this business I had no idea. I did a bit. I did a Facebook advertising marketing kind of thing, and I got someone to teach me how to do that, and I
yeah.
spent £3,500 on that.
Wow.
We have about 6 different platforms, again, for a
Again.
very very nominal, like under £200,
Yeah,
like, under £150, I have to say.
yeah, yeah. It's
So we get all
nothing.
that for under £150, so which is like brilliant. You can't, like, I knew when I saw this business, this is a gold mine,
Yeah,
because I have done another business and I have invested in myself to learn certain platforms.
yeah,
I knew, like, I paid for one platform £3,500, and this we have 6 to 7 different platforms, plus with weekly masterminds,
once.
a training site that gives us step by step on what to
Mm-hmm.
do, and which we can do at our pace, and which is like for lifetime. And
Yeah,
because this is a legitimate business, this is an asset, because it's considered as a business and asset. You can then pass this on to your family, like your
yeah,
children, because it's an
yeah,
asset. It's like
yeah.
property, it's like an asset.
Property. Yeah.
So you can pass it on to your children.
Mm.
So it's incredible, it's really
Yeah,
incredible. And I was just calculating all the things that's there in our system. If you needed something similar, and if you were to do it yourself, it will cost you about £21,000,
yeah,
and we get it all for less than £150,
yeah,
not £120 or something
yeah,
like that. Like, where would you get something like this?
yeah. Absolutely.
You won't get
And
anything like
yeah,
this.
and we pay taxes on for all the income we earn from this business too, right?
Yeah,
So
and because it's a business, of course, unlike a job, there's a lot of, you can have tax benefit. Like
yeah,
if you buy something for the business, like for instance, if you buy another phone for just your business, or a laptop, or anything like that, or your internet connection at home, it's all can be a business expense, and you don't pay tax on expenses. So it's it is it's very tax efficient when you have it as a business.
yeah. I had some issues with my mic.
Well, I could hear you probably.
Yeah, you
So
can
there.
hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you
Yeah,
well.
okay. Yeah, absolutely. So you have explained it so well, Dr. Susie. I'm so happy that you have explained things so well, and that's the beauty of our business. We have lots of flexibility, and you have explained everything so minutely and so detailed. And so this is the business, like, for people who don't know where to start in the online space, but you are wanting to have a legitimate business in the online space. This is the right place. And as she said, we give the training, we give you the automated system which includes all what she said, and that with a very very nominal not a fee, like one time fee, right? And that's the beauty of this business. So one question, like, you have a busy profession and you have run this business at the same time, like how do you manage your time and things like that?
Yeah, like I briefly touched upon it. Like, you have to manage your time well. The thing is, on an average, I think they did they did a study. On an average, apparently, a person spends 2.5 hours a day on social media,
Yeah,
and that's just scrolling.
yeah.
So when you think of that, and this is the average person, now not everyone would be there, but average. If an
Average,
average
yeah.
man spends about 2.5 hours on social media, I'm sure we all have the time.
Yeah.
We all binge watch Netflix,
Yeah.
Prime,
YouTube.
all that. And I have to say, on my tired days, I still do it. And
Yeah.
I'm human. So I still do it. And sometimes I relax that way, but it's not a regular thing that I do. So yeah. So what I do is, instead of uh, binge watching on Netflix, or instead of scrolling aimlessly in on social media, I utilize that time, utilize the platforms to monetize.
Yeah.
So that's the only difference.
Yeah.
I use that time too. And again, as I've mentioned, I am very busy. So before going into work in the morning, I spend little time.
Yeah.
Then in between my lunch break, while having lunch, I have my phone and have my lunch, and then answer queries or take a video at that time, something like that. Then come back, and then after having a break from work, I do again.
Again.
So
Yeah.
that's how I manage, and that may be like an hour and a half in total in a day,
Yeah.
not more than that,
Yeah.
because I don't have time more than that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, people, when we tell people, oh, we have to spend an hour, I don't spend a complete hour, because I
Yeah.
don't have time to spend a complete hour.
Complete out.
But it's pockets of time
Time.
during the day. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty. When I was in property, this is what I couldn't do. When you have to do something, there's a particular time you have to do it,
To
and
be there.
that's where I didn't have the flexibility.
Yeah.
While that's how I manage my time. And of course, weekends I might spend a bit more.
More. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so happy that you have explained everything so well and so detailed. And what is the one message that you have to give for the audience who are thinking about, like, what is, like, should I start this business? Some people are so skeptical. So any message for people like that?
People usually ask me why I started. Because why a person like a doctor, should start. Again, one of the reasons is because I didn't want to trade my time for money. And the other thing is, what if you become unwell? What if there is an emergency? So are you going to rely each time you have an emergency by doing an extra shift?
Yeah.
You're just going to get burnt out. And what if you're not well enough, or physically or mentally, or someone at home
Yeah.
who's not well enough, and then you don't have the time to actually do the extra shift? How
Mm-hmm.
would you then manage? So I think in today's world, it's not a luxury to have a second or third or fourth stream of income. It is a necessity, because
Necessity.
we don't know. And then, as long as you're in a job, you are reliant on your employer to pay your salary.
Yeah.
Now, what if your employer becomes bankrupt
Yeah.
or goes under? Yeah, just think about it. And
Yeah.
we work in the NHS here. Like, I work for the NHS.
Yeah.
One of the places I work is for the NHS. I work for another tech company also. But the thing is, NHS is in a lot of debt already. That, I think everyone knows that we are in a lot of debt. So you can't push it too far. And now one day the NHS decides, like, you have to do more work for the same pay, which I
Yeah.
think none of us will be happy to do, because we are being stretched as it is to the maximum, and none of
Mm-hmm.
us will be happy to do that. But if you are reliant on the NHS or anything like that, you will be forced to do it. And
Okay.
what is your backup plan? While I now have a backup plan, now I am going into that phase where soon I probably don't need to rely on my day job.
Yeah.
And my day job I will be continuing to do, because I still love seeing patients, and that's a
Mhm.
very different feeling, and a wonderful feeling of doing something because you want to serve
Yeah.
rather than for the money. It
Yeah.
makes a big difference. So what this business has provided me is it an opportunity now. It's given me more than money, it's given me time freedom.
Yeah.
I now go out with my husband every weekend. We go exploring. We
Yeah.
visit new places every weekend. We do. And he loves it, because now we're spending more time. We're just exploring places, going different 2 hours away from home. We come back within a few hours, but still,
Still, yeah.
these are things which we never used to do. And now me and my husband, we're very picky about what sort of jobs we'll do. If it's anything during the weekend, we say we won't work during weekends. We are both very picky now.
Yeah.
Now, so, and this business has given us the opportunity to be that picky,
Yeah.
to be very fair.
Yeah.
So you can't imagine the time free. So monetary, yes, but money is just a vehicle that brings you the time freedom,
Yeah.
and that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
there's no better time than this. And this is the time to actually enter into some form of business
Yeah.
and create that time and financial freedom,
Yeah.
because relying on your pension alone is a big mistake.
Yeah.
Because no pension is going to cover you in 40 years. We're getting 40% of
Yeah.
what you earn. It's not just going to cover you.
Yeah.
You'll be hardly able to pay your bills.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the pension, is just to make you comfortable enough, just enough. But then you won't have the extra for holidays. And you work for 30 years thinking after that I want to travel the world.
Yeah.
Will you have the health to travel? God knows. Will
Yeah.
you have the money to travel? God knows. I know people who are retired who are still working because they are working for the extra money to go on holidays,
Yeah.
because their
Yeah.
pension doesn't cover that.
Mm-hmm.
I know people
Yeah.
personally like that.
Yeah. So you have given so much of information, so I would say, like, if anyone is interested, this is the right time to take that action and come in and check out, like, about this business. You can check with me, or if you are looking at Dr. Susie's page, you can check in from there. Watch the webinar, that's the first step. Come into our website, put your name and email, and get the free webinar in the first place. Watch it and then connect with us to get more information. So thank you, Dr. Susie. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for all the information that you have given. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Melina. And you have a lovely day too, and a
Yeah.
lovely day to our audience too. Bye
Yeah.
for now.
Bye. Yeah. Thank
Bye.
you.